Hello, my name is Michael Dwyer, and I'm with Rochester Writers. Once again, Rochester Writers and the Rochester Hills Public Library have teamed up to host their annual author fair, now in its fourth year. We're hosting 20 authors in person at the library in downtown Rochester on Saturday, November 26th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. These short videos offer you a chance to meet each of the 20 authors. And right now we're meeting Marci Grossman. Hey, Marci, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Michael?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being here to talk about the author fair and to tell everybody who you are, how you got it to become an author, and your book that is out, which as I look over at my other screen, I'm forgetting the name of it, Financial Literacy, MoneyMarci's Guide to Financial Literacy, and you were prepared to hold it up so I could see it. Thank you. So tell us, Marci, a little bit about yourself and the book.
Well, I am a CPA with over 30 years of experience, and I've found that the most exciting part of that for me is when I get to explain to people what's really going on with those numbers, what they mean, what they can control, and helping them to understand how to improve their finances. And I've reached the point in my life where I said, if I want to really do this, I've got to write a book, because I can only talk to clients one at a time, and with a book, I can reach so many more people.
Well, when I do my taxes, I find that I've got a lot of those numbers, but they shrink quickly and dwindle. Does your book help us understand how to not have those shrink so quickly?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about on the tax return, there's not a whole lot I can do. I didn't create the tax return, but understanding why your gross salary does not equal that first line on your tax return, absolutely. Understanding why your checkbook, the money just flies out, a little bit. I mean, one of the first topics I talk about is always budgeting, because you have to understand what you have to understand all of the other decisions that go with this. I wrote the book with young adults in mind, people who've just graduated high school or college and are starting to be on their own and facing all these decisions, and explaining the various types of decisions that they might be having to come up with answers for so that they could understand it. But I've gotten feedback from older friends who have said there have been things they've been doing all their lives, and many of them they've been doing them right, but they didn't really understand why. And it's so much more empowering when you know why you're doing what you're doing.
So yeah, I can imagine if you can find out why you're doing these things, that and it's not our system, right? No one asked me how I wanted to pay taxes. They just came up with this system, and then I have to follow it. So knowledge is going to help a lot with that.
Yeah, and so the topics, the chapters are relatively short. Many of them have stories that I got from anybody who would contribute a story, because people learn better from stories than from me just giving them dry facts. And it talks about everything from the various health insurance options you might choose to understanding the difference between savings and investing. I tried to cover a wide range of financial topics that were common to most people on an everyday or at least a yearly basis.
And is there one thing that readers find in there that they keep going back to, that you find is the common thread that most of them said, I'm so glad you included that?
I think it all comes down to budgeting, because once you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it and how you're doing it, and even though it takes time, I break it down so it's not as scary, and it helps them move forward on something that seemed like it was going to be eating an elephant.
Now, just out of curiosity, have you sent a copy to Congress?
I have not sent a copy to Congress. I would need to send one. They'd probably fight over it, or I would love to. I'd love to see more accountants in Congress, in public office, because here we are making money decisions from people who don't necessarily understand money.
I agree. So a little bit of humor, but yes, I think that they could stand to read a book like yours. So we're going to be at the author fair on Shop Small Saturday. It's that Saturday after Thanksgiving, squeezed in between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. It's a great holiday shopping time. So this book would be good for young people. Who else would be a good holiday recipient for a gift of this book?
Anyone who would like to understand their money better. I mean, it's really it's a great stocking stuffer. It's not huge. I didn't make it big and scary on purpose. I wanted people to pick it up and not be intimidated. I would say anyone 15 years old and up would find things that would start impacting their lives. So I think everyone should buy it and then give it to all their friends.
Well, that's good advice from any author, right? Everyone should buy their book. So this is your first book. This is the book we'll see at the author fair. Has the bug to write more bitten you, and do you have something coming up next year maybe?
I am always soliciting more stories for more books. It will allow me to go further into detail on more financial topics and further into detail on some of the topics I've discussed. I am currently working on creating the audiobook and a teacher's edition. I'm hoping to encourage schools to look at this being one of the ways they can help their students understand money before they send them out in the world.
Well, we all need that in that age group, certainly. So thank you so much for priming the audience with us, Marci, as we lead up to Shop Small Saturday and the 4th Annual Author Fair. How would you like to leave it with everyone today?
Buy my book, understand your money, have a financially intelligent and intentional holiday season.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you at the author fair. And until then, pay attention to your money.
See you there.